I'm live! Yay! I'm live. Here's going live. Alright, so hopefully live chat, all messages are visible. So hopefully this time I haven't messed up the whole live chat thing so I can see people as they jump in. If they jump in, I don't even know. I owe you guys some videos, or at least a video. But I've been a little bit behind the ball because there's been some stuff going on here. A number of people are getting ready to jump out of here. They're getting ready to go home. Hanko, what's up, man? Triple A. So I think I got this right. Like I fucked it up last time, and I didn't have an opportunity to be able to say to you guys, hi to you guys as you jumped in. I think I might have figured out what I did wrong. So like, I see Hanko and I see Triple A. So what's up, guys? So I jumped on this live stream to kind of like put out a quick video because I'm kind of behind the ball in terms of putting out a video. One of the next videos I plan on doing is a form check for my buddy Seth. He submitted some. Yeah, I got it. All right, cool. He submitted some videos to do some form check on his deadlifts, and I got to put that together. And I just haven't taken the time to sit down and string that together just yet. There's a lot of stuff going on over here where there are people getting ready to transition away from Korea to go on to other facets of their career and whatever else, and they're leaving. So there's been a lot of farewells. And so tonight there was a couple of farewells that went on for some folks in the unit that are getting ready to take other responsibilities and challenges in their career. And so I wanted to head out tonight and be there. And so me being present obviously cut into my ability to produce videos and do whatever else. So I didn't have a chance to actually do a video for you guys the way that I would like to have. So I figured out this would be a good opportunity to kind of just do something. So if you guys have any questions for me, hit me up. I don't really have anything crazy in mind in terms of topic or forum or whatever. I just wanted to kind of do a video and put something out so that you guys have an opportunity to check on something. So training for me has been kind of interesting lately. I've pivoted away from doing the kind of powerlifting routine that I've been doing. I ran my powerlifting program, that free program I put out, ran that to its extension, and bench went really well, but obviously had some trouble with deadlift and squat because of that torn groin that I had. So the program didn't quite go the same way or the way that I would have hoped it would have went. In the wake of that, I've kind of pivoted into a hypertrophy kind of a program. So a lot of what I focus on right now is kind of a 5x5, 2 squat sessions per week, 2 bench sessions per week, and then a deadlift session. So that's kind of how I've been structuring my programming and my approach to training lately. And things are going pretty good. Today I came into the gym and wasn't feeling real great because of a series of issues and whatever else. Feeling kind of distracted. Oh wow, Triple A, I'm sorry, man. Good luck at the funeral. That sucks, man. I'm sorry. I hope it wasn't anyone close. Yeah, man. Appreciate you popping in at least. But yeah, so the program that I'm running right now, yeah, right, Hanko? So the program that I'm running right now is just really more just focused on strictly hypertrophy. So running kind of 2 squat sessions per week, 2 bench sessions per week, 1 deadlift session per week, and really focusing on 5x5 that twice a week. So I'm getting the 10 total sessions, kind of in keeping with some of that information from Dr. Brad Schoenfeld. And so far things are going pretty good. Like I've just been kind of enjoying training, having fun. Had a chance to get out with some of my guys that I normally am in the gym with tonight. So we went out and had some beers and had some food and had a chance to kind of sit and shoot the shit. And so that was a lot of fun. So things are pretty good. Also found out today that I should have the chance in the near future to be able to potentially head home for a chunk of leave. And it'll be the first time I've seen the family in a while. So looking forward to the possibility of being able to return home and see the family and spend some time with my wife and my kids and maybe even my mom and dad, and so it's pretty cool. So that might be something that I'll be coming up here in the near future. And the chunk of time that I'm planning on spending at home, one thing that popped in my mind that I'd like to do is my buddy Chris Latini, who did a video about the weight releasers. I might have a chance to maybe pop up and link up with him, maybe do some training, something like that. So I got to reach out to him and figure out if Chris is up to that. So maybe have some chance to do some cool stuff while I'm home. So I'm looking forward to that as well. So it's kind of an interesting period for me right now. A lot of possibility for both personal and professional. Got to make some big decisions about what I want to do with my career and where I want to go with life, whether I want to stay in the Army or whether I want to get out. Those are some big things I'm going to have to come up with here in the near future. Either re-enlist and stay in or GTFO, right? So we got to decide that. Arno, what's going on, man? Hey, Arno, happy birthday, dude. I hope that you have a good birthday. I hope that you and the family get to do something special together. And I hope it's a good one, man. So from me to you, happy birthday, brother. You're welcome. I think I finally figured out how to do the live stuff so I can actually see the chats as they're coming through, which is awesome. Pretty excited about that. So if you guys if you guys have questions or something to add or want to throw at me while we're here, by all means, please jump in. Nick, what's going on, man? When do you get to go home? Nick, I think that I should get to go home on or around the 10th of March. And if I get to do that, I actually might get to be home in time for my little boy's birthday, which is pretty cool. I see my little boy turn 7, like that'd be pretty cool. So I'm looking forward to that. Arno, yeah, so I see. Cool. Then I think this is working good because I can actually say hi to you guys as you're chatting and dropping comments and stuff. So yeah, so if you guys have questions, hit me. I'm just went out and drinking with some friends tonight, and I feel bad because I didn't put together a video for all of you. So I wanted to do something to kind of check in and say, hey, what's up, and have a little fun. And I'm having some beers. So this is something that I'll show you guys. So in Korea, right, at the grocery stations, this is like one of the beers that is available. So it's kind of like a 40-ounce type of beer that you might see back in the States. So this is kind of a go-to because it's not that expensive and it doesn't taste bad, and it's beer. Gonna love it. Good times. So Hanko asks that on your program, do you throw in some accessories or only do the main lifts? So Hanko, on my program, the way that I structured it, because you got to understand, when I wrote the program, I wrote it for myself, right? Like it was just for this dude. And I know enough about lifting and stuff in general that I didn't feel the necessity to throw in information about the accessories because I can make that decision for myself on the fly as I go. So that's why accessories aren't really huge on that program. They're not prescribed. It's accessory work, really, it's an individual thing, right? Like you got to look at yourself and figure out where your deficiencies are. And then based on those deficiencies or where you have those weaknesses, you got to make the decision about what the best accessory work is for you for that particular movement at that particular time. Very, very individualistic. So that's why the program is written the way that's written. What I'm hoping is that anyone that looks at the program or follows the program has enough self-awareness to be able to make those self-assessments. One of the best ways that you can make that self-assessment is by recording yourself, filming yourself actually performing the movement so that you can see where you're failing, where your deficiencies are. Because then you can look at those deficiencies and make those determinations. Okay, hey, I'm failing, for example, on the top end of my bench, I fail at lockout. Okay, well, then obviously you need to do some additional tricep work in order to be able to build up that lockout power, etc. Right? So that's why the program was written the way it was written, to not necessarily prescribe explicitly the accessory work, because it's so very individualistic and it really matters where you are at this time as you're approaching the program. So I hope that makes sense. Nick, it's like a Miller. Yeah, it really is. It's kind of like this stuff here. It's kind of like your run of the mill. It's a little bit hoppier than like a Bud Light or a Miller Lite. So it's got more of a kind of a hoppy taste to it, but very light beer. Not incredibly alcoholic. I think it's like 4.5%. So I think maybe a little bit better than Bud Light. Pretty cheap, pretty readily available. So I'm a big fan. You know, usually like get like one or two of these bad boys and you kind of hang out. Usually leads to not a bad night. Oh, Dustin, what's going on, man? Hey, so big shout out to my man Dustin. Right, Dustin's been going through a lot of stuff. Made some comments on the channel about some of his life challenges, right? Like family wise. And so I got to say, like, that's kind of a huge inspiration for me. Like, someone that go through the challenges that he's going through, and still be positive, leaning forward, and getting after the training, and just keeping a general positive outlook. That for me is a huge inspiration. And like, I made a comment about the other video the other day about like I'm not really quite sure how other people run their channels and like what they do or don't do. But I got to tell you guys, I draw a lot of inspiration from you guys as well. And it's hard for me not to get to know you guys. So as you leave comments and you're interacting with me on a day-to-day basis on my videos and things like that, like you're letting me know what's going on with your lives, it's really hard for me not to get to know you guys. And I absolutely recognize your names as you're popping up every single day. And so I look at someone like, a big channel for me, or kind of like a litmus test is Mark Bell, right? Like I look at someone like Mark Bell, and I wonder, does Mark Bell like recognize the names that are popping up on his channel day in and day out? Does he even look? I don't know. I can't speak to that. I have no idea. But like for me, I can't help but to get to know you guys a little bit. And I can't help but to get to understand like kind of what's going on with your lives as you guys are explaining things to me. And so guys like Dustin that are dropping in, let me know what's going on in your life. It means a lot to me because I get to know you guys a little bit. Obviously I'm sharing quite a lot of myself. But it's also you guys letting me into your life. And I think that's a really cool thing that you guys are willing to tune into what I'm doing. And it's pretty cool. Like it's really, really cool. I look forward to it all the time, like that interaction, be able to talk to you guys and all that stuff. So, let's see. Yep. So Dustin checking out to the Despite family. He's asking if anyone's new to the channel. And obviously I love it when people are new to the channel. That's always good. But it's really like the core that really like keeps the channel going. So like there really is kind of a core user base or core subscribers, I guess. I don't know, that really keep the channel moving. And it's like day in and day out. I see you guys all the time. So it's like, it's really cool. I like it. So Hanko is asking about the accessory work, asking if I publish it. So the accessory work, no, I don't publish, or haven't published rather. On the free program that I put out, that it has the Google Docs link. Obviously, like you guys can check out that. At the top of it, I enumerate some examples of accessory work that I recommend for the program. But again, those are just general recommendations that you could look at in application for what maybe you might need. But really, it really just does take kind of the experience to be able to look at yourself and make that determination. And I'm disinclined to try to publish something at large to say you should do these things, because Hanko, if I'm talking to you, you might need ABC, but if I'm talking to Arno, he might need XYZ, or if I'm talking to Carl might need something else. And so like from a generalized program that I put out that's just like, hey, here's a pretty good general powerlifting program, it's really hard to detail the accessory work, because I really genuinely think that the accessory work is what makes a program more specific, what makes it differentiated from me to you. And in some instances, you just need to be able to look at yourself and determine like what it is you need. Do you need more tricep work? Do you need more shoulder work? So no, I don't really have it pushed anywhere. So I'm sorry, Anko, but I am willing to talk to you specifically about some of your stuff. If you show me videos, you ask me questions, I'm willing to give you my recommendations of what I think that you might need, and then you could probably use that to be able to apply to yourself. Arno's talking about Heineken, right? That seems like a Holland kind of thing, Heineken, right? Drake, Drake Cunningham. Hey, man, Drake, I appreciate you being fairly new. I appreciate you joining the channel, and I appreciate you jumping in to say what's up. And Carl, too. Carl E. says new here. Carl, thanks for joining the channel, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, man. Yeah, you guys are really the lifeblood of the channel, right? Like, without any of you guys, it's really just some fucking dude that likes lifting weights talking to a camera. So I appreciate that you guys are willing to know what I'm doing and willing to provide me the opportunity to try to help. I may or may not be able to help you. I may or may not be able to say anything of interest to you, but I'm willing to try, and that means a lot to me. All right, Arnold mentioned his family, so that's kind of how I look at the channel. I think of family. So Dustin giving me far more credit than I deserve. But I appreciate your confidence in me as an amazing dude, and I appreciate your confidence in me being able to try to help you. So all right, so I want to show you guys something. Arno talks about the clothing line, and where am I at? I want to show you guys something. This would be kind of like an exclusive, right? This is like brand new, never been seen. You guys might notice it if you looked at the watermark in the bottom right corner of the videos. I recently just changed it to this, but it's kind of small and you have a hard time seeing it. But this is something I'm really excited about. So this is something that, just talking with one of the soldiers that's out here with me here in Korea, her name is Brittany, and she's a really good artist, right? Like, just draws some really cool stuff. So her and I were kind of rapping back and forth, and I mentioned her that I'm looking at trying to do some stuff in the future to be able to get into some clothing, get into some other types of stuff, because I think that, like, the idea and the concept of Train to Spite, I think it parlays very well into clothing, and I think there's some really cool things that I could do, and I have some really great ideas. And so I just kind of described to her the concept and like what I think that this thing's about and what I'd like to see, and I asked her to draw me something. So she drew me something, right? So this is the thing right here. But what she drew me, I'm having a hard time getting into digits. And so I'd like to, and if I do a t-shirt design, this will absolutely be the very first t-shirt design that I do, because I think it's fucking bad. So this is my friend Brittany Mulhair. If you guys check out my Instagram, you will find this image, and then you can find her. She's a cool ass person. So I dropped by and said what's up to her. But she drew me this, and I think this is cool. So this is it, guys. So, obviously Train to Spite, right? She draws skulls, and she's kind of cool into that. So the Train to Spite piece, and then the skull, and then we have this like dying breath. And then the dying breath says, but it hurts. And I think this would be an absolutely awesome t-shirt design, right? Can you imagine this big on the back of a t-shirt, right? Train to Spite, but it hurts. And like, that's the thing, right, guys? Like, it fucking hurts. Like, train despite your excuse. Train despite your reasons not to. But it hurts. Yeah, it hurts. That's why we do this thing. We hurt it, but you be better than you were before. And so, like, I want to find a really good way to be able to convert this actual the pen drawing. This is like pen into digits, and then be able to put it onto a t-shirt. And this is absolutely going to be my first design, because I think it really captures the idea of what I think this whole thing is about. I think it's beautiful. And so I got to work that piece through. And then the other piece too for me is like finding a way to be able to lean forward into the business piece of it. So getting a business license, all that other stuff. Like, I got to do all those things too. So there's some logistical type stuff that I got to work through. But I very much wholeheartedly intend on getting into doing some t-shirts and things like that. And I think there's some really cool design type stuff that we can do with it. And I think it'll be a big deal for you guys. And hopefully something that you guys might like. So I want to do that. Nick Blevins, I doubt he even looks. I don't know. Nick, I'm not sure what you were talking about. I doubt he even looks. I'm not sure. Drake, awesome. I'm glad that you feel like you have the opportunity to get questions answered, because that's exactly what the channel's about. I hope to be able to answer questions explicitly, exclusively for the individuals, because whatever experience that I have in life and in lifting, I hope to bring that to bear to be able to help as many people as I could possibly help. That's what I want to do. That's where I want to go with the channel. So Arno asked about the clothing line, so that's the answer. I definitely want to do it. Got to do some logistical stuff to figure it out first. Hanko is asking about the program. If you go back to the video about the free powerlifting program, in the description box of that video, there is a hyperlink to a Google Docs or a Google Drive where you can download the Excel spreadsheet that I developed to give to everybody. And on the top side of that that Excel spreadsheet, there's a bunch of stuff about recommendations for accessories. So that's where you can get that if you're so inclined, Hanko. Again, Dustin, I feel like you give me too much credit, man, but I appreciate it. Cool. You know what's actually kind of cool is like you guys are like talking to each other and not even really talking to me, which I think is actually kind of funny. Oh, yeah, didn't see what the breast said, Hanko? Yeah, it's there you go. It says, but it hurts. And I think that's kind of cool. So my friend Brittany, she drew this, and I think it's just a badass design. Like, it looks kind of cool. You imagine that on the back of a t-shirt? Like, I think that'd be cool. Love the idea. Thanks, Dustin. Appreciate it. Drake asks, did any of you ever end up with a headache and doing so after a particularly taxing workout? I don't. I usually pretty good, especially like day after or whatever. I tell you what, I do end up with a headache after is a particularly heavy night of having beers. But I like beers. That usually goes away with some Motrin and some water. Yeah, so Arno, yeah, I am excited, and I think it'll be cool. The Mark Bell thing. Nick, thanks, man. I appreciate it, dude. Like, I just like the whole design of the channel, the whole idea and end state is to help as many people as I can possibly help, and just have fun. Like, so, one thing that means a lot to me with you guys is like when I see comments like, here's one thing I don't understand. I'm actually going to ask you guys. I don't understand this. I've seen a lot of comments about me being real, right? Like, I see a lot of comments about like, hey, Brad, like, you know, you keep it real. This is the wife calling. Wife is calling, but we're not ready to talk right now because I'm talking to you guys. Sorry, wife, you're going to have to wait. Me keeping it real. And I'm not entirely sure what that means. Like, I don't know what it means to be real or to be anything other than what I am. And like, I actually shot a video about me swearing because for a little while, if you guys look back kind of at the beginning of the channel, some of my earlier videos, I tried really hard not to swear or not to be like too polarizing, right? Because I wanted to try to appeal to a broader audience. But then I realized, like, if you guys ever meet me, this is exactly how I talk. Like, I swear, I tell dirty jokes, I have a kind of a morbid sense of humor, and like, I didn't want to present myself online as anything other than what I really am. And so, like, if I give you this like cookie cutter clean, I don't swear, kind of presentation day by day on the YouTube videos, my fear is that you guys would think that I don't swear, and I really, really do a lot all the time. And so that's I just gave up the idea of not swearing. I knew that it would probably turn people off to the channel, but I figured better for you to see me as I am than to think that I'm this cookie cutter, very clean, whatever. And more power to people that are like that don't swear, that don't, like, more power to you. It's awesome, but I'm not that dude. So that's kind of how I present to myself. So I think that's maybe what people mean when they say that, hey, you present yourself as being very real. But I'll tell you too, the other thing that means a lot to me when I hear comments from people is like, you seem like a dude that I could sit down and have a beer with. And like, I think that's really cool because I would probably sit down and have a beer with you too. I'm a big fan of the idea of like that, right? Like that's kind of like my litmus test. If I would sit down and have a beer with you, then you're cool in my book, right? Like, I think that's kind of, I don't know. I think all the best conversations are had over beer. Let's see. Let's go back to the comments here. Dustin says, "Thank you, Nick. Brad's kind of a pain in the ass when it comes to taking." Dustin, really? Tu Brute? Really? That's how we're gonna do things? You're right. I guess maybe I don't take a compliment very well because I don't necessarily feel like I deserve anything. I am just so genuinely excited about being in the position to be able to interact with you guys. That I don't see that as a thing. Like I just see it as like really fucking cool, and I really look forward to the opportunities to be able to engage and interact and answer questions and stuff like that. And like so that to me doesn't seem like very noteworthy, right? Like it's just like whatever. Anyway, I don't know. Arno says, "Sorry, I have to give a little." Oh yeah, man. Arno, feed the family. Hope everything goes well. Again, Arno, happy birthday, dude. I hope that you have a great birthday. And yeah, do something special, man. All right, so Nick says, have you ever had shoulder pain in between front and mid delt? So I'm guessing somewhere over here. Hurts a little when benching and overhead press, but can't do pull-ups because it just doesn't feel right. So one thing with shoulder pain, right? A lot of times when you get shoulder pain, it can be because we as lifters tend to be very anteriorly focused, right? So like what's in front of us, benching, push-ups, right in front. But a lot of times we don't do a lot of stuff for the back. And so one of the ways that sometimes you can bring balance and abate shoulder pain is by balancing your shoulder work. So as much work, as much attention as you're paying to the front side, pay to the back side. One thing that I really like is lay at a 45-degree angle on a bench, right? Chest down, and do what's known as YTWs. So real lightweight. You're laying with your chest supported, and you have Y, right? So like this. So you do, say, 10 reps Y, and then you do T's, which is like this, out to the side, T. So it's like you forming a T and you forming a Y, right? And then you also do W's, right, which is this. So if you look at my arms, it looks like I'm doing a W. And YTWs, like 10, 10, 10. And you only need like 5 pounds, right? It doesn't take much weight because it's really hard. And that can be a really great shoulder exercise that can help if you have some shoulder pain, especially anterior, right between that front and medial delt. That might be something. The other thing you can do is some shoulder distraction type stuff, right? So have a band wrapped around your shoulder, go through some range of motion type stuff, do some mobility type exercises that can bring some blood into the shoulder, help warm it up before you do whatever it is you're going to do. And also, it can help bring that humerus and seat that humerus back. Because we tend to be very focused just in general, bench day, right? A lot of guys are really focused on that, benching. It can tend to be bring the tissues of the pec and the shoulder to be very tight, and that can bring that humerus forward in the shoulder socket, and that can also add some additional discomfort to the shoulder, right? Because that humerus is pulled forward because of the tightness of the pecs, for example. So if you do some shoulder distraction, it can help seat that humerus back into the shoulder capsule a little bit better and may help with that pain. So try that, Nick. I think that those things might work. It's at least a start, and we'll see where you go from there. Um, I don't think you realize how transparent you are. You are. I don't think people can feel the faith. Okay, yeah, cool, man. I appreciate it, man. Like, Dustin, thanks, dude. Like, I've said it before, and I absolutely mean it. I appreciate the support. I appreciate the fact that you guys are willing to tune into what I'm doing. Um, and it means a lot to me that you guys are there for me. Because I'm going to be really transparent here. This is kind of a two-way street because I get a lot from you guys too. So this isn't just me giving, right? Like I get a lot back. Um, and there have been some fairly dark times in my life fairly recently. Being in Korea, separated from my family, separated from all the things that I know and love. And I'm kind of a homebody. Um, I have kind of leaned on the YouTube family, the YouTube community, to feel normal. And when I'm feeling low and you guys are tuning into the things that I'm doing and being as positive as you are, um, it helps kind of carry me through. So I get quite a lot back too. So I want you to know that as well. Um, thanks, Arno. I appreciate it. I try to be as much of myself as I can. Um, I'd like to think that the way that you guys see me online would be no different than if we were just sitting across the table from one another talking. So I very much tried to be as I am, so you guys feel a sense of what it's like to actually be with me at any given point. Like if we were just sitting across the table talking and having a conversation about whatever, um, how I act and how I behave very much is me. And it was kind of funny because my buddy Matt, if you guys remember from the new Challenger Approaches video, my buddy Matt, who's in the Air Force, he found me originally and began following the channel based off of me being on Brian Alsher's channel. Saw me, thought I was, whatever, decided to jump into the channel. And I thought that was pretty cool. Um, and was a fan of the channel and actually was surprised when I was in country and happened to actually see me walking around doing some filming and thought to himself, no, that surely that couldn't be him. Then when he realized, yeah, it is me, reached out, wanted to get together and train. So like he started out watching the channel and then had an opportunity to get together with me and actually train. And as a consequence, him and I are he's my friend. I actually genuinely consider him my friend. And he made the comment to me that like he felt like he knew me before he ever met me because of the channel. So if that's the feeling that I convey to any of you, like then I feel like I'm doing the right thing because like it's really what it's like to hang out with me. So I think that's kind of cool. Let's see here. Drake. This particular day was heavy 8-inch dead and heavy seated SSB good morning and was sore from the back of my head. That's next day. Drake, are you talking specifically about the shoulder pain? No, that was Nick that was talking about shoulder pain. Drake, I'm trying to see. Oh, from the headache. Okay, I see what you're going from. Yeah. Sometimes if you're doing a lot of posterior type stuff, especially with the neck, right? Neck starts the muscles of the neck start to lock down, and that can really cause a headache. So no surprise there. Especially if you're doing deadlifting and then good mornings. That's a lot of pressure and strain on the neck. So that actually doesn't surprise me that you'd have a headache. You could do some foam rolling. You could do just some just light stretching. Pulling the head. Different angles, that kind of stuff, just to loosen up the muscle tissue, and that might abate the headache if you experience something like that. Hanko, good. Glad that you got the program. Hopefully it works out, and you can kind of see how things are laid out. Again, if you have questions, always feel free to give me a bump, send me an email, whatever the case is, and I'm glad to help as I can. That's cool. A lot of people jumping and saying happy birthday. That's awesome. Nick, so Nick's talking about being too dumb to take a break. So obviously the idea of the channel is train despite, but even that comes with limitations. Like there is a common sense approach to a lot of stuff, and there are things that you can and should push through, and there are times when you probably should not. Recently, as you guys may be able to tell, still some congestion and sinus type stuff going on. I had flu pretty bad, and I took time off. So as much as I say, hey, train despite, there's a time and place for that. And there are times when you should definitely back off and allow yourself to rest and recuperate and recover from whatever it is that's going on. So it's common sense approach, right? You got to do the best you can to make the decision about where you are and what you're capable of recovering from. And if you feel like you're going to put yourself into a hole, probably good to stop digging. Nick, okay, cool, man. I appreciate it. Here for you. You guys, you just kind of confirming that you guys are here for me. I appreciate that because I rely on you guys quite a lot, and it makes a difference in my day every single day. I absolutely promise that. I read the comments, and I'm always interested in what you guys have to say. So I feel like this is very much a two-way street. Yeah, Hanko found me after Brian's vid. Cool, man. Like, I'm always kind of interested to find out how people found out about me, or what drew you to the channel, and just doing the best that I can. Like I don't always know if what I'm doing is going to be beneficial for people, or if it's something that will resonate. But I always, 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 with all of my videos or anything that I do, like the absolute intent is to try to help. And so I think that everything that I try to do or the way that I try to approach things is to be as helpful as I possibly can. And so that's kind of like the intent. So anytime that you guys have something going on where you feel like you have a question or there's an opportunity for me to attempt to help, I'm all ears. And if it's going to help you, almost certainly it's going to help out tens or hundreds or even thousands of other people. So I always, always, always recommend and welcome, the questions and things like that, because it just provides me more of an opportunity to be able to be targeted and help out with whatever might be going on. Let's see. That's when I tuned in for the Brian video. Thanks, Drake. Yeah, it is normal, dude. Yeah, don't worry about that. It's not crazy. Especially after like particularly stressful stuff, like totally normal. QQ, what's going on, dude? What have you done that's had the most benefit for your squat? It sounds like such a bullshit answer, but the answer is squat. I squat and I squat deep. I have always squatted deep. And I really genuinely believe in that full range of motion. I know that there are some people out there that say, if you're going any deeper than parallel, you're wasting energy. But I've always found that stretch reflex has helped me more than it has hurt me. So squatting and squatting deep has probably been the biggest benefit to my squat. I don't do much other squat variation. Some stuff here and there, but squatting was always the biggest thing that helped me with squatting. And so obviously that's kind of what I recommend. I do kind of bounce back and forth between like a high bar and low bar. So the further away from a competition that I am, the more high bar type stuff that I do. And as I get closer and closer to competition, the more I will pivot to a low bar position, because of the way that it incorporates the posterior chain on a low bar squat. You get a little bit more musculature involved, and so you're able to generally lift a little bit more with a low bar position than you are with a high. However, it is a very individual thing, and so among the human condition, there is no one size fits all, none, ever across the board. So if anyone tells you that there is one way and one way only to do something, tell them to fucking stuff it in their nose, because it's bullshit. What works for you may or may not work for me, and that's really what it's all about, is finding the thing that works best for you. So playing with bar position, very, very important. But yeah, the thing that's helped my squat the most is really just squatting. And I know that sounds like such a bullshit answer too. I wish I had something more profound. But I just squat a lot. Nick mentions having his wife rub his neck after heavy deads. Fuck, man, I'd have my wife rub my neck every day if she'd do it, but she won't. She gets tired of that shit. Yeah, but yeah, I think the tissue massage can make a big difference, especially for headaches. Nick's not wrong. Squat more is a good answer, which is exactly what I said. QQ, actually running Russian squat routine right now, and it's brutal, but seems to be working out. Definitely not sustainable long term, though. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm actually not familiar with what the Russian squat routine is. I'm not sure if that's like kind of a Bulgarian system or not. But I generally think that just about any program can work for just about anybody for a period of time. And then at some point in time with everybody, whatever it is you're doing will stop being sustainable. And you got to pivot and kind of adjust fire. So it's kind of how things work. Drake, all right, break time's over. Back to work. All right, Drake, thanks for checking in, man. I hope you're well, and I appreciate you checking in, man. QQ, thanks, dude. Nursing a late back tweak this week. So you're going to try to hit at least a single at less than 85 if things feel safe. And hey, man, that's like the operative word, right? How things feel. And I'm going to tell you, one of the biggest things that's really made a difference for me in my career and the way that I've pursued my training is really being feel-based. I am absolutely willing to pivot on a dime based on how I feel that day. But one of the things that I've always advocated and I said a lot is that, like, when you write a program or you have a program or somebody writes you a program, it's literally in a vacuum, right? Like, you and I are talking, you tell me all these things about what you want to do and what your maxes are and what you're capable of, and what lifts you like doing. And I'm like, and I write all this stuff down, right? When I say, okay, here is your 15-week program. When I write that program for you, or I write this stuff down, do I actually know how you are going to feel 9 weeks from now? Fuck no. No, I don't. I don't have a fucking clue. I'm writing the program in a goddamn vacuum. And so every single day, you need to be willing to look at what the program says and adjust fire as necessary. Because just because the program says X, Y, or Z doesn't necessarily mean that's exactly what you got to do. And there was something I mentioned recently from Sullivan. God, I'm blanking on his first name. God damn it. Anyway, whatever. Start Jay Sullivan, I think is his first name. Jay. He's one of the guys that's sponsored by Elite FTS. He talked about how his job is very physically demanding, and so he'll have the program will be writing for whatever, and so he's expecting to hit X, Y, or Z. But because he's so tired or exhausted based on the physical demands of his job, he has to pivot on the fly. And that's something that we all need to take a look at, is being willing to pivot based on what's going on. Because, if I write a woman a program, and I say, hey, blah, 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 this is what you're going to do. Do I necessarily know when her menstrual cycle is? No, I don't. And there's no accounting for what the effect of her menstrual cycle is going to be on her energy levels. Some women go very anemic when they're on cycle. And so, like, those are just like little mini facets that you have to be able to look at and make determinations about what it is that you're going through at that moment as you're looking at a program. And again, I think also too, programs, when you're talking about percentage-based type stuff, it's a range. It's not a hard line. So if even on my program, when I say 63%, I don't necessarily mean 63%. That's the end all be all. Do not deviate from that. It's a range. If you're feeling great, bump up by 5%. If you're not feeling great, bump down by 5%. It's a range. And so the mature lifter is the lifter that can really look at and make those determinations about where you stand and pivot on the fly. So a huge recommendation for you guys to be able to pivot. Long explanation, I think. Hopefully that works. So QQ, that whole thing was kind of you and being willing to pivot around what's going on, especially if you have like a tweak. Let's see what else we got. RSR is a 3-week. Oh, the Russians, the squad. You never hit less than ramp up. Yeah. The other thing that I recommend to you guys is don't get married. Let's call it again. But you guys are more important right now. Baby, I'm sorry. I love you, but I can't answer the phone right now. I'm talking to the people. I love that song though, right? I thought it would stop. Okay, sorry. Don't be married to a program. Programs are great, but a program is a tool, right? And you guys got to look at that. Like a program is a tool. No different than if you're doing something like you're working on something in the garage. There are different tools for different jobs, and you use those tools to perform certain things. And there are some times where certain tools are more appropriate than others, and there are certain times where a tool is completely inappropriate. And you got to look at a program and determine if it's a good tool for where you're at that point in life. If it's valuable for you, then cool. And if it's not, cast it out. Don't be married to programs. That's one of the biggest mistakes I see with a lot of like junior lifters or novice lifters is feeling too married to a program. Don't do it. Dustin's talking to Nick. Where do you look when you pull? Oh, so he's trying to get kind of the root of the neck pain type stuff. Brad Phillips. Oh shit, dude. So Brad Phillips that just popped into the chat is a guy that I went to high school with. He actually was with me for my very, very first powerlifting competition in Howell, Michigan. It was a push-pull, and I lived with him for a period of time, and a good friend of mine. So what's up, Brad? It's been a long time, dude. I hope that you're well. Sorry that we've lost touch over the years, but I'm really glad that you found me, and hopefully we can catch up at some point in time. And yeah, man, thanks for checking in. Thanks, dude. I appreciate the compliment on the content too. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Dustin, helping me out with the Joe Sullivan. That's exactly. I was a J. I was blanking. Joe Sullivan. Joe Sullivan was the guy that I was talking about in terms of him talking about his job and the effects that his job has on his training program, and that at times he just has to pivot. Yeah. Let's see what happened. Hanko, Brad, guys, glad to catch up with you. Got to run to class. Okay, Hanko, have fun. Take care. Enjoy class. I appreciate you checking in, brother. Good luck. QQ, glad you caught me live too, man. I appreciate you very much. Big fan of all you guys checking in and being willing to check out what I'm doing. Like, that's kind of cool. Like, I'm like talking to people all over the world. That's fucking wild, dude. Like, I don't know, it's wild. I can't get over it. What's gonna be pissed? Nick, I'm not sure what you have to help me out with oh yeah, for ignoring her. Dude, you're totally right. Hold on. She says, call me. Baby, I'm sorry. Gotta wait. We're not done yet. You're right, and she is pissed. I can feel it already. I can feel like the hatred. Nick, she's getting after me. Seth, what's going on, Seth? All right, so I talked to you guys. I mentioned it. Next video I'm going to do is a video for Seth, a form check video because he submitted some stuff to me, deadlift, and I got to put that together, but I've been kind of overcome by events lately, so that's what this is about, is kind of catching up with you guys and checking in and whatever else and just doing something to kind of be there, because I hate when like days on end go by and I'm not doing something, because I feel like it helps me as much to put something out as it does for you guys to see what I'm doing. And I've had you guys tell me that I don't owe you an apology for not producing a video. But there's something to be said for expectation, and there's something to be said for being reliable. So if you guys are expecting to see videos from me on X, Y, and Z, it behooves me to do videos in X, Y, and Z. But like I said, there's been a lot going on here on the peninsula. There's a lot of people kind of coming and going, and there's a lot of stuff that it was just better for me to be there. And so it's kind of cut into my time to be able to produce. So I'm just hoping that you guys will understand, and that I can kind of explain that and just let you know that more videos are coming. And I got a ton of videos shot and ready to go. But it just takes time to sit down and do the editing, because like when I sit down and edit a video, I mean, we're talking between the editing, probably nothing less than an hour, and then the rendering like another hour, and then uploading, and it's a time exhaustive process, and I'm grateful to do it. But when life gets in the way sometimes, got to do life. All right. Talk to your wife. You know what? You're right. She is. Damn, she's calling again. You know what? What's up, babe?
Answer it.
I'm not answering because I'm talking to the YouTubes. I'm on YouTube. I'm on YouTube Live. YouTube Live. Say hi to the wife. Wife, say hi to YouTube Live.
YouTube Live.
I can't pause YouTube Live. It's live. I can't pause it. It's live. It's running right now. There are 10 people watching, and they're probably saying stuff. I'm gonna check. Are they saying things?
They're gonna have.
Oh, they're saying hi. YouTube says hi. So Arno says hi. Red Death says hi. Carl says hi. Seth says hi. Oh, we're not done yet. And QQ says hi too. The world is saying hello to you, wife. They're saying hi.
At least I'm not contagious.
She's sick right now. She's got the illness.
Got the flu.
She got the flu.
All right.
Can I call you back in a few minutes when I'm done talking to the internet?
That's fine, but I'm gonna message you something, and I need you to respond to it.
Okay. Is it nudies? I'll respond to the nudies. No?
No, it's not. It's nothing exciting.
Damn it.
But I do need the information, so I'm sending it right now.
Okay. Hey.
Love you.
I love your face.
I love yours, other than the mustache.
She doesn't love the mustache, guys. If you love the mustache, give me a thumbs up right now. Because wifey
Don't
here...
lie.
Tell him.
Don't lie. Don't lie.
Wifey doesn't love the mustache. That's the reason why I'm growing the mustache, is just to irk her.
All right.
I love
Later.
you. Later, babe. Love you. All right, guys. I appreciate you sticking with me. I'm having fun. Like, this is probably like... Well, in fact, this is the most fun I've had in a little while, guys. I appreciate you. This is awesome. So I'm going to scroll back up to try to catch you into some more of the comments. All right, so we got done talking with QQ. He mentioned the wife is more important, and she answered, or I answered, and we talked to her. Mama Goose is going to get you. Mama Goose is always going to get you, Seth, bro. You know this. Joseph, where is the Copenhagen? I don't have Copenhagen. I don't do any like dipping or tobacco, but I do the booze. I like beer. I like beer a lot. Beer, I think, is evidence that God exists and he loves us. I'm not religious, but I love beer. All right, Nick. Yeah, Nick. Clearly, she's definitely, you guys saw. The wrath of the wife can suck. Even when I don't have wrath from my wife, sometimes it sucks. Joe's a goddamn beast. Yeah, Dustin, you're right. Joe is a goddamn beast. Like, inspiration, truly. RD, good to hear from you, man. I hope that your day is going well. Cheers, brother. It's Dustin saying answer the damn phone. I'm trying to catch up to where you guys are at, so bear with me. I apologize. We here call you lady. You're right. You're right, QQ. Hey, we're all human, make mistakes. No worries. I think that you're talking about Red Death. I think you're talking about the video, and yeah, okay. You're a badass, dude. Dustin, dude, I'm not that much of a badass. I just like lifting weights. That's pretty much it. But knowing what I do know of you, it don't matter. She's gonna win every time. You're right, dude. 'Cause yeah, because she got that thing that I don't have and I love. So everyone's saying hi. That's awesome. I appreciate you guys saying hi to the wife. That's pretty cool. Thanks, guys, for that. Brad, thank you, man. I appreciate the good luck. I hope that you're well. Last time I knew you were going through the whole like medical type stuff. I don't know if you made it or not, but hopefully like you're a doctor and not the kind of doctor that's got your hand up like an animal's ass. Sorry, dude. Everyone was saying hi. Henry Ford said hi. Henry, what's up, man? But yeah, she had the flu. It sucked. Yes, you guys are loving the fucking stash. All right, so I'm gonna tell you what. Like me growing the stash had more to do with the fact that I don't take myself seriously, and I like just goofing around and being a fucking goofball. And I know that it's not exactly like a super great thing. I've never tried to grow a mustache in my entire life. Like never, never, never. So me doing this is more just being a goofball because most people are like, "You're growing a mustache," and it just kind of stands out as kind of a weird thing. But I'm actually really astonished at how many people have commented on the internet, on my Instagram, as well as like just in person. The whole mustache thing is like it's just crazy. Generally, for the majority of the day, I actually forget that it's there. Like it's not like something I'm like super conscious of. But then like when the wife calls, I'm like big on like camera on the mustache just to piss her off. So that's kind of fun for me. And the thing I hate about my mustache, guys, is like right here, as you can see, kind of a blank strip in the middle almost, like nothing really grows there. It's like it's like purgatory of mustache. It's like not really good, but it's not really bad. It's just anyway, whatever. I'll probably shave it when I go home. Yeah, a mustache does need to be more robust to be acceptable. I'm doing the best I can, QQ. She needs some damn info. Nick, you're right. She does. This is her calling me and trying to get. Okay. Her calling me and trying to get some info for me has a lot to do with me going home. And I mentioned that I've been going through this bit of trying to get some time off. And it's really, I'm going to be honest with you guys, it's been a huge pain in the ass. Because taking a chunk of leave while here in Korea to go home is not super favorably viewed on. So I actually had to go back and forth with leadership for the last 2 weeks to be able to pin it down. And it's been super frustrating and super demotivating almost to the point of almost like really like bringing me down because it's like asking for this time and it's like I don't know. You'd think that I was asking for like $100,000 raise, so it's been super stressful. So the information that she's asking me for has a lot to do with procuring tickets for me to actually be able to go home and see my family. And what I'm hoping against all hope is that I can go home and actually be there for my son's 7th birthday. Now, I don't want to set a precedent to be home for my son and not for my daughters and things like that, but it's just kind of the timing of things and how it worked out. But to be able to go home and surprise my kids, like, I don't know. I don't know if you guys have a pretty good sense of me, but I'm going to tell you pretty plainly, like the thing that means the most to me in the world is my kids. The only thing in life I ever knew I wanted, ever, was kids from an early age. Like from the point that I could even talk. I remember having conversations with my dad as a little boy, and I told him I wanted children. So having kids for me is like the best thing I've ever done. And when I tell people that I have 4 children, they're like, "Oh, wow, 4 kids." And I usually laugh it off and I say like, "Yeah, hey, we can't take anything with us. Like no matter what you do, how much money you earn or the accolades or how much weight you lift or any of that other shit, like you can't take that with you. The best that you can hope for is to leave something behind." And so for me, for having kids is the best thing I think I've ever done. And so for me, the best thing that I could ever do is raise these kids and hopefully have them be good, contributing members of society, helping society in general. So the opportunity to be able to go home to be with them means so much to me. So like I'm in my feels right now thinking about it too. Like I can't wait to go home and hold my babies because there's nothing I love more than them. So yeah, in the fields, big time. Back it out, and we're good. All right, so getting back to the comments. Arno's talking about my rebel mustache. Yeah, dude, it's totally like the comb over mustache. So the thing is, the hairs aren't long enough to comb over. Well, whatever. Red Death, getting coffee, and then I'm gonna do some squats. Mustache is cool. Yeah, thanks, Artie. I appreciate it. I'm sure the squats will go well. I'm a big fan of some well caffeinated squats. So lots of caffeine and big deep. QQ, James Strickland hit a 700 raw bench. Strickland's a badass dude. The hoss. I think it's possible he could hit 700. Like 700 raw benches. Bro, if you've ever deadlifted 700 pounds or you've ever had 700 pounds on your back for a squat or even just a walkout, shit's miserable. So can you imagine like holding it above your body, for a bench press in actual like full range of motion? I can't imagine, dude. Like, so one of my good buddies, Jeff Yonker, amazing athlete. He's got a supplement store in Texas, and he opened up his own business. So I'm super proud of that dude. But Jeff Yonker does some really great stuff. Really great powerlifter. You should check him out on IG. I think his Instagram's like Baby Huey. But Jeff Yonker is his name. But Jeff trains with James Strickland, and that's pretty cool. Like to know people who know people. Like I think that's kind of neat. And yeah, Strickland's fucking beast. I don't ever anticipate being at that kind of level, but yeah, I hope he does. Seth, I'm trying to take 28 days. So originally I was trying to do 30. Like I'm trying to do as many days as I could get away with, right? Like I'll take as many days as you will give me. Originally, my battalion commander said that she would give me 30 days. Like this is an eyeball to eyeball conversation. 30 days approved. And then things started getting processed, and so I've been in this 2 week process, back and forth, trying to like get this thing approved. Finally, the word came down: 28 days. Right. The difference in the 2 days is whether I leave on a Friday or I leave on a Sunday, which to me doesn't really make any sense. But it is what it is, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to go home. So 28 days, have an opportunity to go home, see the family. So there was a message held for review. Going to show. Oh yeah, so Dustin's talking about James is going to hit 7. Jerry Pritchett. So Jerry Pritchett, I don't know. I don't think that he's gonna break the deadlift record. Pritchett is a badass deadlifter, no doubt. But I genuinely think, in terms of the deadlift record, I think Hathor is gonna come out top dog. I don't know if they'll get into the 50 grand for breaking over the 501 kilos. But I think Hathor is going to be the top dog on the deadlift with the elephant bar. But we'll find out this weekend, won't we? Yeah, Arno, yeah, man. I hope I go home too, man. Like, I'm really looking forward to it. We're trying to work out some details and get the flight information and do all that stuff. Really not looking forward to flying over the Pacific, but should be good times. If I get to hold my kids, worth it. Seth talking about kids being a game changer. Totally agree. Arno's got five kids. Arno. Yeah, man, kids are worth it, dude. Like that's I mean, that's what it's about, as far as I'm concerned, is that next line. Nick's got 2 girls, 2 and 7, which means they're going on 16 and 21. You right. You right. Red Death Legacy, really Viking of me. So I don't have much Viking in my bloodline. It's like Scottish, mostly by heritage. But it breaks well. I like that. Viking. I think Vikings are generally pretty badass, and I think legacy is pretty important. Protein coffee. Nick, I don't know if I'm down with the protein coffee. Like, I like protein. I like coffee, but I don't necessarily think that I want certain things mixed. I'm the kind of dude that gets like a couple different things for dinner and doesn't mix them on a plate. And I eat like one thing at a time. So like, I'm a big fan of all those things, but I don't necessarily want them mashed together. So protein coffee, probably not, because like coffee makes me want to poop, and too much protein really makes me want to poop. So like protein coffee, I think would probably make my colon explode. So I'm really not. I'd try it. Jury's out. Jury's out. I'd try it at least once, probably twice. I'll try anything twice. No, not anything, but most things. QQ's hoping for a 700 squat in like 2022. Yeah, 700 bench, inconceivable, dude. Red Death wants protein coffee. I'm not. I don't know. What do you guys? So is protein coffee like what's a good brand? What do you think? Is there a good brand? Is there like the brand? What kind of protein coffee? I don't normally mix my protein powder with milk, Nick. I usually mix my protein powder with water. And you can see right here is my protein powder. It's like Syntha 6 because I get it and it's on the cheap. And then here is my water. And so I take this water and I put it into this shaker with this protein and usually this creatine, and I drink it. Yeah. Now, this is kind of fun for me, guys. I don't know how you're feeling about like how this exchange is going or like this particular video, but I'm just having fun like interacting with you guys. I think it's kind of cool. Nick says it's fucking funny. Oh no, it's not run to review. Phew. Okay, there we go. Any brand that the protein blends with milk and then you add coffee, right? It's like creamer but healthy. I usually take my coffee black. I don't know how you guys do. You do your coffee black? I do my coffee black. Did you text your wife? I did. QQ. I totally texted her back. I gave her her answer. I don't think she responded though. You guys want to call her again? Give me a thumbs up if you want me to call my wife again. I'm waiting for that first thumbs up, and I'm gonna call her, and then she's gonna be like, "Are you guys done?" I'm like, I won't tell her. It'll be our little secret. Get her on the phone. Probably see QQ coming through with a thumbs up. We're calling her. Oh, she's on another call. Who the hell could she be talking to? It's not me. Probably one of the kids. Oh, she's on another call. Won't let me call through. God damn it. What else can we do? Yeah, she might be. You're probably right, Carl. She might be booking the flight. How about let's see who else we call. We call my parents. You guys want to call my mom? You guys have never met my mom before. Thumbs up for mom. Dang it, Bobby. You're right, Seth. Thumbs up for mom. Wait for the thumbs up. Thumbs up. Tri-tip more than brisket. I'm not really picky on meats. I'll tell you what, like for me, like meat is meat is meat is meat. The only thing I really differentiate is like pork from beef from chicken. If I have a choice, I go with the beef. Big fan of beef. I like pork a lot too. I don't like the fatty pork. Here in Korea, they do a lot of stuff with pork, but it's a lot of like really fatty cuts. I'm not generally a big fan of the fatty cuts. But other than that, big fan of a lot of the food here in Korea. They do some really cool stuff, the barbecues and things like that. Arno does his coffee with coconut oil and milk. Jesus, why don't you just make a goddamn margarita, Arno? Beer. All right. I didn't get any thumbs up, but we're going to call Mom. Black coffee with sea salt and butter. Pink Himalayan salt. God damn. You guys are some bougie motherfuckers. No. But not keto, but generally speaking, like, what's up, Dad?
Sir, what's up?
So you guys want to see my dad? So right now, I felt bad because like I've been kind of OBE by events here in Korea and haven't had a chance to sit down and do another video, even though I owe some videos. So I'm doing a live. So I'm on YouTube Live right now, talking with you guys with the internet, and I talked about jumping on with Mom and Dad. So internet, this is Mom and Dad. This is Mom over here, and this is Dad. Mom and Dad, say hi.
Hi. You caught us at our vegetable best.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this person had sex with this person, and then they made this person. Love you.
Love you. Love you too.
I want you guys to know that the internet is saying hi to you. So Arno has said hello to you. Arno's in Holland, so he says hi. We've got QQ. QQ says hi to Brad's parents. Seth has given big thumbs up. So pretty glad that you guys did the thing that you did about 37 years ago.
Easy now.
I'm a little bit grateful that you guys did the thing that you did too. I don't really want to talk about it in any great detail, but cheers to you guys for doing that thing that you did, right? You know what you did. And everyone's just saying hi.
Embarrassing about this conversation.
Yeah, we're gonna go viral. It's gonna be great.
No, we're not. Oh goodness.
They don't want to go viral, guys. All right, I'll give you guys a call in a little bit. I just wanted to, say hi to Mom and Dad.
All right, have a good one.
I love you guys.
Later.
Later.
Love you.
You.
Later.
One thing I'm a big fan of, guys. I don't know if you've ever noticed. Well, you probably wouldn't notice. There haven't been that many opportunities for you guys to notice. But I never say goodbye. Maybe this would be something that you guys can consider for your own use in your own lives. I never say goodbye because for me, goodbye, it's final. When you say goodbye, like that's it. It's goodbye. So for anyone that I love or anyone that I enjoy or anyone that I have any expectation of seeing again, I always say later or some variant of that. I never, ever say goodbye. The only time I ever say goodbye is when I absolutely mean it. And there have been people that I've said goodbye to. But generally speaking, if I hold you dear or even people that I don't necessarily hold dear, even just like friends, acquaintances, things like that. Like if we part, it's later or see ya or again some variant. I only ever say goodbye if I absolutely fucking mean it. And when I say goodbye to somebody, I have no intention of ever speaking to them again. So if you ever see me interact with my family or anyone else again and you catch on to that, that's a thing for me. Very big thing. So like my kids never say goodbye. I think it's kind of an important thing to, affirmation, giving people affirmation, letting them know that you love them while they're here. Because you guys know as well as I do, life's a fragile thing and it goes by pretty fast. And tomorrow's never ever guaranteed. So I would rather have the people that I know and people who know me know how I feel about them. I want my friends and my family to know that I love them and I adore them. Because if I never have a chance to say it to them, I don't want there to ever be any question. So let's go back up here and see what's going on. Dude, I'm a big fan that you guys are like totally into like the whole thing here, saying hi to my parents and stuff. I'm having a lot of fun with this. These live things, like, you know, I've been going at this now for an hour and 14 minutes. I never expected to go like this long on the live. I'm having a lot of fun with it. So I really do appreciate you guys like checking in, kind of being here with me. Hopefully you kind of get a sense, you know, of my personality, or had a sense of my personality, and kind of get a feel for what's going on here. But I really dig this. You guys are really doing a lot of interaction with me, and I really do appreciate it. It's like a lot of fun. What's up, parents? Hey, what's up, Brad parents? Thank you for making Brad. Thanks, Dustin. Appreciate that. Big smiles from Arno. Red Death, man. Phone predating emojis. Time for a new phone, brother. Said enough. Timmy, what's going on, dude? Timmy Turner. Hey, bro. I hope you're well. Thanks for checking in. Yeah, Seth, I'm a big fan of like really constantly just like pushing my parents way past their comfort zone because it makes me laugh. Red Death saying hi to my dad. Appreciate it. My dad's my life's greatest hero. Like, I love that dude. He's he's a good dude. I just love that. I love the opportunity to like be able to sit and just chat with my dad, like as an adult now, being able to understand him as an adult. That for me is like a really cool thing. So yeah. Timmy, thank you, man. I appreciate you liking the train despite mentality. I feel like, you know, the train despite mentality and that idea, that mantra, is something that a lot of people can relate to. A lot of people, whether they know it or not, subscribe to that idea. And to be able to do something like this channel, the videos, eventually some clothing line type stuff, to live that, right? To have that. I think Train Despite is like, I think it's huge. And there's a lot of really cool stuff that we can do with it in the future. I'm really looking forward to it. So more to follow on that. You're welcome, Dustin. Red Death saying hi to my mom. Arno, thanks, dude. I appreciate it. Saying I'm a great man. I don't know if I'm a great man. I think I'm a really okay dude, right? Like, I will settle for really, really okay. I think I got that down. But great, I don't know. I'm just, honestly, guys, I'm just a dude that likes lifting weights and talking to cameras. So yeah, I just appreciate being a part of your life, right? Like the fact that you watch the camera right now or at whatever point in time in the future, willing to tune into what I'm doing or what I'm saying and giving me the opportunity to try to help. I think that's fucking cool. Because I may or may not be able to help at any point in time. But I might, and I'm willing to try. So the fact that you guys are willing to try to let me, I think that's fucking badass. Red Death dying. You know, I hope that this is somewhat entertaining. I hope I'm being kind of funny here, because like I feel like the problem that I have on most of my videos is I don't have like a foil, or I don't have somebody to like interact with, right? So like usually it's me just talking about something, just trying to demonstrate something. So a lot of my videos are very straightforward, right? Like it's like kind of cut and dry, not really all that funny. And especially like my earlier shit. Like, I don't know how many of you guys have gone back and like looked some of the first couple of videos, but like some of my first videos are like, I mean, like I'm proud of what I did. I'm proud of what the journey has been, but I really wasn't all that comfortable in front of a camera. So like when I look at what I was doing then to what I'm doing now, I feel like I've made a lot more advancements in terms of like entertainment. But a lot of stuff I don't really consider entertainment value in how I approach my videos. I more approach my stuff, again, like I said, just like a conversation. Like if you and I were sitting across the table from each other like we are right now, and like we were talking directly with one another, like what it would be like to actually speak to me and ask me these questions. That's what I try to bring to you guys, so like you could kind of see and get a sense of my personality. I hope to do some more stuff in the future. Some more travel and things like that. There's some people that I want to be able to collaborate with. I'm really looking forward to linking up with Coach Joe Satmary when I'm back in the States. I'll look forward to getting back out to Neversate, linking up with Brian and Nick and those guys. There's a lot of stuff I really want to do in the future. And the community that we're building is going to be able to provide me that opportunity to do more. And so it really is like an avalanche. And I really can't wait to really start turning more of what the channel is back into the channel and do some more stuff and collaborate with more people and just do stuff. So I'm really excited about where the future will go and some of the stuff that I planned. I know that, Joe has mentioned on his channel, looking forward to linking back up with me. We've done some stuff together. I've been on his channel, but to be together, same time, same place. And I still want to get that dude down on that 10,000 pound challenge. So if you guys follow Joe, hit him up on his page and let him know you want to see that 10,000 pound challenge that he said he would do and never did. Dick move, Joe. But he's a good dude, and I watch his channel a lot, and he gives me a lot of inspiration. Yeah, man, I've had the opportunity to make some really cool friends, and I'm looking forward to linking one of those guys again in the future. All right, let's see what's going on here. Let's go back to the comments and see what's happening. Let's see. Show. Dustin says, check out Bruce Lee's book on Jeet Kune Do. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Bruce Lee is a badass motherfucker. Bob line. Arno's arguing with me, says, no, I say great, man. I have my moments. We'll settle there. We'll go in the middle. I have my moments. All right, QQ. Look at Brian Alsru's old videos versus his new ones. Completely different. Just gotta find your camera personality, and you're right. One thing that's huge for me, guys, that's been changing and evolving for me is my comfort being in public talking to my camera, right? Because where we at? Hold on. Un momento, por favor. So when I make a video, it looks a lot like this. Hey guys, what's up? This is Brian with Spike Fitness, and today we're going to do another video. We're going to go to the gym. We're going to lift some heavy ass shit, and it's going to be generally inspiring, and you should watch this because it's fucking awesome, right? So, but it's like, it looks like this. And so I'm in public, surrounded by other people who don't do this, doing this, and they're looking at me like I got something growing out of my forehead, right? Like, it's kind of a really surreal thing. And like, and I want to be as engaging in the video as I can be. So when I'm looking at the video, like, I'm talking to all of you. I'm talking to you. But I'm talking to this camera at that moment. And other people are watching me talk to the camera as though I'm potentially talking to thousands of people or whatever, right? Like, and they're looking at me like, who the fuck are you talking to? And so like, it's really surreal. And so to get used to being able to talk to the camera and feel comfortable having everyone see me carrying a conversation with a camera is really weird. But I'm getting better at it, and I'm enjoying it more, and I'm giving a shit less about what people think. And I find now that the less and less that I care about what observers are thinking as I'm looking at this camera having a conversation, the more cool it is, right? Because it's just like I'm just doing my thing, and then like I'll do my thing and I'll talk to the camera, and then I'll have people come up to me and like talk to me like, hey, what are you doing? And then I have a great opportunity to be able to talk to somebody and be like, oh, hey, I have a YouTube channel, I do this, this, and this. And that's potentially a new viewer, a new person that I could bring to the channel and say, hey, I do these things and, blah, blah, blah. So that's kind of cool. So like, yeah, getting used to talking to the camera is a big thing. And so QQ, I totally see what you're saying as far as like watching Brian's old stuff, because watching Brian's old stuff feels a lot like watching my old stuff. And so when I see some of my older videos, like my girl Soy La Bonbon just made a comment on one of my older videos. And so in order to respond to her, I had to go back to the old video. And so that started to play. And I was watching the video. And I was like, oh, it's like almost cringing. Like, oh, that's, right? But it did it. And it's, I think even in the video I said, like, hey, we're up to 27 subscribers. And I was super excited about it, like genuinely ecstatic that we had 27 subscribers. And so now here we are just shy of, I think, 2,500 subscribers. And it all started with just me just like talking to the camera. So like super grateful for the arc and trying to get better at the craft, and really grateful for the opportunity to be able to try to help you guys as we go along. So like Q, you're right. I agree with you. Yeah, man. All right. Arnold's talking about me being much better now, more relaxed. Yeah, it might be the beer too. It's the beer tonight for sure, because I've had a lot of beer tonight. I went out with some friends, said some goodbyes to some people I may not see again or for a long time. Had some beer and some food among friends. Decided to take it back to the room and have some more beer. All right, Dustin, well said. Brian used to be super awkward, and now he's fucking awesome. Brian Allsrew is really, really funny. I don't know how many of you that view this have ever met him, but he is also very much like how he is on video. And so I started out following his channel, just thinking he's really funny and enjoying the videos, and happened to have the opportunity to be able to meet him, and then also happened to have the opportunity to be able to earn his respect and become his friend. And being his friend is not too dissimilar from actually watching his videos. He's just a funny dude. And how he does stuff and the way that he phrases things and the way that his brain works, fucking hilarious. Huge fan of Brian. Huge fan of Brian. So yeah, you're right. It's comfort. It's just finding your stride. And so I hope that I'm finding my stride and becoming more and more entertaining to watch, but also keeping with the core tenet of the channel, which is helping as many people as I can possibly help. Yo, Brad. Oh, so Dustin says, yo, Brad, yo, Brad, have you ever heard Bruce? I'm not sure what you said, Dustin. The comment is a little broken on the English. I think you're talking about Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee's Be Like Water. And I'm not entirely familiar, so I'm going to say no. Yeah, Timmy talking about my, camera thing. Yeah, it is totally awkward, dude. Especially when people don't know what you're doing. They're like, it's weird. You do an awesome impression of that D Despite dude. Dustin, I'm not sure what that last comment was. What's the D Despite dude? What was the motivation to start your YouTube channel? Timmy, great question. The thing that got the YouTube channel started for me and like making videos and going forward was this thing right here. If you notice, I have this really awesome tattoo that's got this big blank spot right there. And what that is a gigantic scar from where I tore my bicep off and had to have it surgically reattached. And when I tore this bicep was at Nationals in 2016. I was at Nationals 2016, about to pull my last deadlift, and I was pulling for second place. And I pulled, got it up, and I felt this pop. And I didn't let go, but the weight obviously shifted down, right? So no downward movement on a deadlift, and I was red lighted. Two reds to one white, and no lift. Missed getting that second place pull, and then somebody pulled a subsequent pull and outed me out of third place by 5 pounds. And I was fucking furious. And so I had never been injured that significantly before. It was the most significant injury I'd ever sustained. And it was terrible. But I was so bent on trying to make sure that I got into like top 10 in the country for men's Raw 308 that I decided I wasn't going to stop. I wasn't going to quit. And I wanted to show people that recovery and that process. So what started the channel was the tear and my decision to not let that stop me, and the idea that I could show people some really bad things can happen to you, but that doesn't necessarily define who you are or what you're capable of. And therefore, Despite Fitness was kind of born. train despite your limitations, train despite your excuse, and that's kind of where all that derived from personal experience and personal heartache. So yeah, to me, that's what started the channel. I hope that answers the question, brother. See, Grass man, what's up, man? I hope you're well. Hope the knee is okay. I know that you went through some shit here recently, and hope you're doing well, brother. Brad, do you think you could do a video on a good diet for strongman? Gentlemen, and maybe lady, potentially probably mom that watches this after the fact. Don't have a lot of that strong female presence here on the channel, guys. I am usually very disinclined to talk about diet. And here's why. Because I have had the good fortune to have a fairly high metabolism most of my life. The last duty station that I was at was 7th Group. And if you know anything about the Army, these special forces groups tend to have a lot of money and access to or availability for special programs and things like that. And so where I was at, I had the ability and the access to gain some treatment and some access to different things that I wouldn't normally have, right? And one of those things was a bod pod that does a metabolic, basal metabolic rate kind of calculator, or basically helped me kind of figure out where my basal metabolic rate is. So in other words, how many calories per day do I burn just existing, right? Like basal, without any additional output or expenditure. So based on that thing, it told me that my basal metabolic rate was about 3,500. So in other words, on any given day, to just exist, my body is going to burn 3,500 calories per day, not including any other activity or anything else. So I burn a shit ton of calories. Therefore, I eat a shit ton of calories. Essentially, I eat and I drink whatever the fuck I want. And so I'm a really, really bad person to talk about, diet and things like that, because like I could tell you, oh, do this, this, and this, and this, because these are the things that I've always done. And you'll find that it may not necessarily work for you, because especially like metabolic rate is such a personal thing, right? Like it really does vary from person to person a great deal. So I'm very poorly qualified to talk about diet explicitly. I can talk about generalities, and I can talk about being able to gain weight, right? Like what it takes to gain weight. I can talk about that quite a lot too, right? Because like I know what it takes to gain weight. I graduated high school at 180 pounds. Literally 1 year after graduation from high school, I went from 180 pounds to 240 pounds. And that was explicitly due to my diet, because I ate everything that held still long enough. I put a cat in my mouth. It didn't like that very much. But like, I ate everything. And like when people talk to me about gaining weight, you just eat. And I've had people ask me, well, what do you eat? Anything, everything, all the things, eat them. Focus obviously predominantly on protein, but a calorie is a calorie is a calorie. And if you're trying to gain weight, you need lots of calories. If you're trying to grow, hypertrophy as a function on your body is a very exhaustive process, right? Like it needs a caloric surplus in order to conduct hypertrophy. So just to kickstart the process of hypertrophy, you need a caloric surplus. And then also there is the cost of the hypertrophy itself, which requires calories. So like you need to be in a calorie surplus to really be effective at gaining weight and putting on size. So from that perspective, I'm pretty good in saying, hey, these are some things that you should do or how you should approach this. But in order for to talk about a specified diet for, say, strongman or whatever, I'm very poorly qualified. I don't have any real training other than what I've done to myself. But even I may not be a great comparison for most people, because I feel like my metabolic rate is higher than most. So it's not really an apples to apples comparison. So I'm disinclined to talk about specifics with diet, because I don't feel like that'd be a really great thing for me to do. If you're doing strongman, just generally speaking, if you're doing training and you want to get bigger and stronger, you need to eat more. Most of your PRs or most of your lifts, you can experience PRs by getting bigger and heavier and stronger. Obviously, that comes to a point of diminishing returns. But if you want to see your numbers go up, get bigger. I know that doesn't necessarily answer the question, Grass, but I hope maybe you see where I'm coming from with that. Does that make sense? Leave a comment. Let me know what you think, bud. Beer. Yeah, big fan. I often say, like, it's a joke, but I'm fucking serious. I prefer most of my calories in liquid format. Because I do. I think, again, calories being calories. So, like, I don't eat enough on a daily basis. So my beer consumption absolutely does supplement my caloric intake. I don't use it for my dietary needs, right? Like, I'm not getting my protein from my beer, but I am getting calories. So I supplement my calorie requirement sometimes with some additional beer. So that's it. Dustin, I think the mustache is really central to everything that's awesome in my life right now. Let's see here. Nick, I remember when you only had like 10 subs, man. I do too. It was like my mom, my wife, a couple of friends at work, and you, apparently. So thanks, brother. I appreciate you being with the channel, man. My bad on my texting. Oh, yeah, so you apologize for misunderstanding. I actually met this girl a little while ago, and she's the shit. We're both falling for each other. Oh, yeah, dude. Hey, man, love will make you do crazy shit, especially, like, women. That's one thing that I think is amazing. Like, if you find a woman in your life, like, if you're somebody who enjoys the gym, and you can find a woman who enjoys the gym and kind of share that as a common bond, I think that's amazing. My wife was really huge into fitness before I ever met her, and then kids fucked all that shit up. And I've been trying to, like, get her back into stuff, and I was gonna get her to do a powerlifting meet until I tore my right bicep. And if you guys see that scar right there, right, that one, I don't know, you can see it. It's there. So I tore my right bicep off. I did a meet in February, Battle of the Bay down in Tampa, 2018 February timeframe. Tore that motherfucker off. And a month later, her and I were supposed to do a meet in, I think, Alabama or Georgia. I can't remember where it was. Together. And because I tore this bicep, it ruined that whole plan. But what I'm getting at is the process of her and I training together and lifting and, being in the garage and all that stuff. It was really awesome. It really brought us together. And I think that commonality, that common goal, common interest, I think is really huge. And so if you are pursuing life and love, I think finding someone who has similar interests as you is a really big thing, because it's like self-licking ice cream cone, right? Like a self-fulfilling process. You guys, like, it keeps it going. But if you have somebody who is completely disinterested in the things that you're interested in, it's very contradictory, right? So, Dustin, congratulations on finding someone that you're kind of falling for. And it's awesome, dude. I'm glad to hear that. I fucked it. I probably had one too many. Red Death. Timmy Turner, I lost what I was talking about when you're talking about being measurable. What were you? Oh, you're talking about the basal metabolic rate. Yeah, it is. It actually is measurable, and it changes through your life period too, right? So, like, as a young child, your basal metabolic rate will be whatever point, and then as you age, typically that basal metabolic rate will begin to fall. And so that's why a lot of people as they get older, they begin to gain weight, because they're used to eating at a certain level, but not having the same output, and you start gaining weight. But yeah, basal metabolic rate is a real thing, and your body absolutely will consume a certain amount of calories per day, every day, just to exist. And then that's exacerbated by what your activity level is. So consider that. And obviously, the more active you are, the more you're burning. Arlange 82. So job in the military. So you guys may or may not have noticed, I have been super careful to not talk about what my job is in the Army. Not because I want to be cryptic or evasive or anything like that, but it's just not important. Um, I push a lot of paper. I do a lot of paperwork, a lot of typing, and it's generally not that exciting. So like, there's really no really reason to highlight it. I love what I do. I love being in service, but my specific job is not that important, man. Again, I don't mean to be evasive, and I don't want to be cryptic. It's not. It's just not special, and it isn't one I want to highlight in what I do on a day-to-day basis. I hope that makes sense. And again, I really don't want to be a jerk about it. I just don't want to talk about it. Hope that's okay. Are there athletes you look up to or used to look up to when you started out lifting weights? Timmy Turner, yeah, man. Like, so I grew up lifting weights in late '90s, early 2000s, and of course that was the time frame of like all the multi-ply, multi-gear. I began my career lifting in multi-ply myself. Clay Brandenburg was a big guy out of Michigan at the time. Huge bench. I don't think he's really in the game anymore. I think he's still alive. But I used to go train with Clay Brandenburg and some dudes out of Michigan. My guy Bob Biersbach was my trainer and mentor. One of the guys that really got me into powerlifting and was my what's the dude's name? He was like my Obi-Wan, or I forget what Obi-Wan's trainer was. I remember the Qui-Gon Jinn. Yeah, he was like my Qui-Gon Jinn, right? So yeah, so Bob Biersbach, another good training partner of mine is I can tell you some crazy stories from like the early years of me getting into powerlifting. Maybe I'll do a video at that at some point in time. But I had this guy like, all right, so I started powerlifting when I was like 17. Had this guy, and he was John Ketchum, big burly dude, big handlebar mustache, 300-pound plus dude. Just a really gruff looking guy. Was a bouncer at some bars and stuff in Michigan. Big tattoo on his back. I think it was a buffalo. And John was a really just a gruff dude. And so I joined the group when I was like 17. So I was a kid. So they called me Kid. And John, oh dude, anytime he saw a female in the gym that he thought was attractive, he'd be like, "Hey kid." And he'd like nod off, like he'd get my attention. "Hey kid," real deep, gruff voice, and he'd nod off in the general direction of the female that he saw. And he'd do one of these deals, go, and stomp his foot like a bull in heat. So that was like that. Those are like the early years of me learning how to lift. Was like that kind of a crew, like training with these dudes, fucking savages. It was fun. I look back on those years of my life. It was a lot of fun. I had a lot of good times, and yeah. But lifters that I look up to now, I look up to Joe Sullivan. I look up to Jesus, man. Like I'm blanking on names. It's like I'm on point or on pressure to like come up with names. But a lot of the big lifters, Kyler Woolham, Nick Best, Stan Efferding. I've met Stan a couple times. Stan Efferding is an amazing lifter, an amazing man. Mark Bell to some extent. Not as much of a fan of his stuff recently as his earlier stuff from years ago. But still got to respect what that guy's done for the sport. Steffi Cohen. I've done some stuff with her. Been down to her gym and trained at her gym. Steffi is amazing. Her fiance Hayden Bowe. Their manager Alex Usler. I'm a big fan of anyone that's doing something in the sport and bringing people in and trying to build the sport. So that's kind of the stuff that I look at, like almost irrespective of what their numbers are. I'm a big fan of people that are building up sport versus tearing down. unfortunately, where I was before, I was in an environment or around an environment where there were some people that had this very elitist mentality, this very elitist mindset, and that for me was very toxic. I'm not elitist, and I would much prefer to see someone hit, some brand new PR, of 135 or whatever, some PR for them, than see some new all time world record, right? Like, I give a shit. World records will come and go, but seeing somebody hit a PR is amazing for me because it's such a pivotal moment. Like, can you guys think back to the different PRs that you've hit in your life, and like how that moment like just drew you in, and you're like, oh man, I just hit this new PR squat, and I'm gonna do this, this, and this, and this, and by next April or by 6 months from now, I'm gonna hit this, this, and this, and like it like doubles down on your investment into the sport. That's such a beautiful thing, and I love being there for those moments. And I've had the good fortune to be here in South Korea, to be working with a number of soldiers, and working with them on their form and different things. And like just today, I was working with one of my females, and she's ripping 245 deadlift for reps, and she's, I don't know, maybe 150. So just to be there, and to be there with that soldier, like, and seeing her pursue strength, and seeing her have that spark, that's really what I'm drawn to. So in terms of who I look up to anyone that's getting it. All right, let's try to go back here. I'm sorry. I got off on a tangent, guys. I apologize. See. Me, wife, and garage have to work out. He goes, yeah, get that wife cardio, right, Nick? I agree. Make sure you has a phone leave it around YouTube. That's right, QQ. I can't. Cool. Arnold's talking about joining my channel. I was just reading the comment from Arnold. Arnold talking about how when he watched the video and made a comment, and then I commented it back, and that's kind of one of the things that drew him to the channel. So thanks, man. I appreciate that. Like, I like responding to people. Big deal. Your testosterone drops after 35. Yeah, I mean, like, as a male, if you get a certain point, your testosterone starts to drop off. I think it's different for everybody. But I think one of the biggest things is just staying active, right? Like, not having some huge break, going from like 35 to like 50, not doing shit, and then also at 50 trying to get back into. I feel like continuing from 35 on is a far better cry than not doing jack all from 35 to 50, and then also at 50 wanting to pick up. So staying active, I think, also matters. QQ, gonna go get some lunch. Appreciate you checking in, and yeah, man, peace out. We're talking in 3 timelines. Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, Arno, that John Ketchum was a funny dude. I love that man. Yeah, I grew up, with my dad being a powerlifter, having pictures and stuff of Arnold, Franco, and those guys. Kazmaier, dude. Kazmaier's a fucking beast. If you guys haven't watched the interview between Kaz and Matt Wenning on Matt Wenning's channel, you guys should check that out because it was a really cool. I think they did like a 3-part series for that. It was fucking awesome. Louis, what's going on, man? Yes, you did caught me, and I'm doing pretty good. I'm gonna have to go to bed here pretty soon. This is almost 2 hours, guys. I can't believe I'm going this long. I never intended to be going on this long, but I just having such a lot of fun interacting with you guys. So Lange 82. What do I think about starting strength? I'm a big fan of Mark Rippetoe's system and getting people into movement and training and exercise. The one main criticism that I have about starting strength is very much about starting strength. So, like, if you don't follow starting strength, you're wrong. And I had some interaction on the Facebook page for Starting Strength, and people were doing some form check type stuff. And I made a response to one of the form check questions, and this person's squat looked fine to me. They weren't in any pain. They weren't in any discomfort. The weight moved pretty well. And to me, the squat actually looked fairly reasonable. And I made a comment as such. It looked good. You moved it well. You're not in any pain. I don't see any major imbalances. Looks pretty good. Somebody from the Starting Strength admin responded back to me directly. Well, that's not really what Starting Strength states. That I didn't espouse the Starting Strength template or explicit way of squatting. I just said, hey man, just kind of do what works for you, because there's no one size fits all model, which is what I say all the time. And like I said, they kind of got after me about saying, well, there's no one size fits all. And from that moment, I was like, right. So I like the idea that they do something that gets people in a certain path going forward, and I like that. But I dislike the idea that it's this one-size-fits-all mentality. So that's where I completely depart from them. So I hope that answers the question. Let's see here. Mark Bell is not what he was in the beginning. Arno, yeah, I agree. I think Mark Bell has changed a lot. I think that's a natural progression for most people. I think everyone changes. You can't always be what you currently are. You're going to become something else, right? And I think that to some extent, Mark Bell is a product of the success that he has enjoyed. I feel like the content that he produces isn't really on the same level as it used to be. So I look to him less and less and less, but I'm still interested in what he does. There's quite a lot of people that I watch and follow and look at their videos. I look at Max Tuning. I look at Bradley Martin. I look at Meg Squats. I look at, to some extent, Jeff Nippard every now and then. I'm not a much fan of the Jeff Nippard, but I still look at some of his stuff. I look at Mark Bell. I look at Joe Satsbury. I look at Brian Allsrew. I look at Nick. When Olu does things, I watch Olu's videos. So there's quite a large range of people that I look at and pay attention to. And some of them I'm not super into them, but I like seeing how they do certain things, like Max Tuning. I look at some of his stuff, and I'm not necessarily interested in doing some of the same things that he's doing, but I like seeing how he does things, because he's very successful in his own right. And so for that, I like to look at that. So I'm really, really willing to look at a lot of different people, whether I'm super into what they're saying or not, because I think also how they produce things, their editing, their filming, their processing, there's lots of stuff to learn. And so that's kind of what I look for. But yeah, I'm less and less in love with the stuff that Mark Bell does. Nick's talking about Mark Bell being a bullshitter, and I think he's a product / victim of maybe his own success. Help me focus through your program. Yeah, Arno followed my free program and put on 60 kilos to his total. I think that's a success. Now, that's not necessarily a product of the fact that my program is so freaking awesome. I don't believe that whatsoever. But I believe it is a method to keep a lifter focused, left foot, right foot moving forward, and you're going to find progress. So whether you follow my program or somebody else's program or any whatever, as long as you're doing the things that you should do and have some basic tenets into the program, I believe that generally you will advance. But Arno, I'm super glad that you followed my program, and I'm super glad that my program yielded benefit for you. I think that's freaking amazing. Louis just hit bench PR. Louis, congrats on the PR, brother. 1 rep max is 90 kg and just tripled 87.5. Hey, Louis, I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to say that your one rep max is not 90 kg anymore. Just a thought. Show what happened here. Arno, that's fucking awesome. Yeah, Dustin's congratulating Arno on his new PR, man. Arno saw the interview with Kaz. I think that's awesome. I just had to jump here. Hang on. I'm loving the fact that you guys are interacting with each other while this thing's going on. That's pretty cool too. Like, it's kind of neat. Yeah, I think Arno, you're right. No one squats the same. Everyone's built a little bit different. Your hips are built different. Your femurs are built different. Angles of your your femur, that ball socket fitting into the joint is different for every single person. So I can't tell you do X, Y, and Z and have it fit perfectly for everybody. So again, that's one of the reasons why I have an issue with the starting strength process. Although I think it's good to have a template for people to follow. So I hope that you guys get what I'm saying in terms of the good and the bad. Red Death is checking out, man. Hey, I appreciate you checking in and hanging out for so long, Red Death. Good luck with the squats. And yeah, man, I appreciate you very much. Thanks, dude. Yeah, Nick mentioned Calgary Barbell. Again, I didn't mention him by name at first, but I'm a big fan of Calgary. Calgary recently has really upped their game on the production quality for their videos, and I'm a big fan of it, man. Like, I think they do some really sharp stuff in terms of content production, and they produce some really good shit. So, like, big fan of Calgary. I hope I get a chance to meet those dudes sometime. Like, that'd be pretty cool. Maybe we'll have a chance to reach out and see if I can link up with them and do a collab at some point in time. Brad Marley's funny and Martin Leese's. Yeah, Arno, I've been watching some Martin's Leese's stuff recently. My buddy Matt turned me on to him, and I have a good laugh with his shit, with his warming up his rotators. Pretty funny. Nick's mentioning Bryce being smart. Yeah, Bryce is smart. He's got a lot of experience. I love watching his stuff. I think he does some really, really great things. Louis mentioning conversion from pounds over. Yeah. From pounds to kilos, 2.2046. Get you there. I always do it on my phone. All right, Louis, get your shower, man, and get after it. Thanks for checking in, man. I appreciate you very much. Good evening. Grass asking if I've tried 531. Oh, I've actually never tried 531. I think I have the template somewhere on my computer, but I've never actually tried it, so I don't know, dude. Let's see, Dustin. Martin Lee's this shit. Yeah, you're right. I think he's a funny dude. That's one thing I look at in my own videos, like, how could I be funnier? I don't know. I'll have to find a way if I can't be funnier, if I even should be funnier. I don't know. Do you think that I should try to be funnier on my normal day-to-day videos? Or do I do an okay job of being somewhat funny but also straight to the point? I'm curious. What do you guys think? Dustin, let me see what you said here, man. Oh yeah, you're talking about Martin. Grass, I like the 5x5. Yeah, so lately, Grass, I've been stuck on a 5x5 kick. I do, for example, squats, benches. I do a 5x5 twice a week, so 10 total sets throughout the week, but 5 reps, 5 sets in each working day. So Monday for me is squat, Tuesday is bench, Wednesday is deadlift, Thursday is bench again, and then Friday is squat again. And I do 10 total working sets, break it up to 2 different sessions, 5x5, and then my squat, or my deadlift rather, because it's so neurally taxing and just obliterating to me, I only do that 1 time a week. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. You guys voting with Just Be You. Yeah, so, yeah. That's kind of why, like, I don't know if you guys bothered to take the time to check out my Exploring Sue Won video. But I really enjoyed that video because I had more of an opportunity to kind of be funny, because I wasn't trying to, like, do something, like, to describe something or coach something or train something. It was just me bebopping around with my buddy Matt and me just kind of cracking wise. So if you ever want to get a good sense of what my personality is like or what it's like to hang out with me, watch that video, exploring Suwon, and me just kind of being goofy and like making jokes and bitching about climbing things, because that's very much who I am. But I do enjoy laughing and making people laugh, and I do enjoy being like outrageous. So again, kind of circling back around to why I say like I swear a lot in my videos, because like that's just kind of who I am. And so I typically say a lot of really outrageous things, just in the effort of catching somebody off guard and making them laugh. So yeah, have fun. Are you also tired the next day after squats or deadlift? I tend to be more tired. Excuse me. I tend to be more tired after deadlifts. For example, today I deadlifted yesterday. I did a 5x5 with 585, and then I did a single with 675. And then today I was feeling like just exhausted and beat up. And going into the training session this afternoon, I wasn't sure how I would perform. In fact, I had doubts that I would be able to hit my target goal of 415 for 5x5. But then once I got into it and got moving, 415 today moved actually pretty well. And then if you check out my Instagram at Brad_Arbic, you can see my last bench, my last bench set was, 415 for 5. And I had somebody comment to me that it looked like speed work, because I was super motivated on that last set. I had one of my friends like slap me, and so I just got like super fucking fired up, and the weight was just jamming. So as bad as I felt going into the session, I surprised myself with how well I performed, and so just kind of one of those things. All right, guys, we're going on 2 hours, and I've been sitting here talking to the camera. I am floored that any of you guys decided to tune in and check out any of this. And I don't think, beyond any of you that have been here with me the whole time, I really don't expect that too many people are going to watch this. But it's been a lot of fun. And again, I want to apologize to you guys for not having some regular scheduled video content out for you guys. That's kind of what this was about, was just doing something to kind of catch up with you guys and let you know that I will have something out here in the near future. I'm going to do a form check with my man Seth, and then roll into the other content that I do have. This whole like YouTube journey, man, like I'm having a lot of fun with it, and especially with me being here in Korea, not having my family with me on a day-to-day basis really has freed me up a lot to focus on this. So I've been having a lot of fun with it, and I appreciate you guys being with me, and I appreciate all the questions and the comments, and you guys being willing to tune into this stuff. It's a lot of fun. So just want to say thanks, guys. Yeah, guys. Have to head out. Seth, take it easy, man. Bro, finish your beer. Yeah, dude, it's getting warm. You're right. Nick. I do have a cap somewhere, and I can put this in the fridge, which is exactly what I'll do because I'm about to go to bed. Again, guys, I want to thank you so much for joining me on this live chat. Thank you for all the questions, the comments, and giving me an opportunity to kind of dialogue with you guys directly. I got to tell you how much it means to me. I really do enjoy it. It means the world. Keep your questions and comments and stuff coming on future videos. The only thing that I could kind of ask you guys is what helps me out a lot is when you guys like share the videos with other people. And I don't necessarily mean like linking it, but like literally like showing somebody like, hey, have you seen this guy? Because it exposes people to the channel and gives me an opportunity to help more people. So you guys can continue to help me with that. I would really, really appreciate it. I'm really looking forward to getting to 2,500 subscribers. And then the next major mark for me after that is 5,000. And I don't know how long it will take us to get us there, but I'm super excited about it. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave them in the chat box or hit me up, email me, DM me, whatever. Looking forward to being able to respond to you guys and help you out in any way that I can. You guys are welcome. Dustin, thank you. Arnold, thank you. Nick, thank you. Seth, I don't know if you pieced out already, but thank you. I appreciate all you guys checking into this stuff, and I appreciate you guys helping me make this community what it's become. It's awesome. Remember, guys, no matter what it is you can't do, train despite, you're either going to find an excuse or you're going to find a way. And I hope that you guys continue to find the way. I appreciate all of you very, very much. Thank you very much, and I'll have another video out for you guys soon, I hope. Probably Friday. Don't get too big, and then you guys will lose us. I don't know. I don't think there's any fear of me getting too big anytime real soon, brother. All right, guys. I appreciate you. Timmy, thank you for checking in. Guys, I'll see you soon. And like I said, always feel free to hit me up. I will respond. Thanks, guys. I'll see you.